Hey, before we start this episode, I do want to give a trigger warning. We do talk about some very serious topics such as mental health and suicide. So I definitely want to make sure that everyone knows that viewer discretion is advised. Thank you and enjoy the show.
The reason I feel like another reason why people feel more apt to do that is because people don't really understand suicide. People frown upon it and be like, oh, well, you're not of God and blah, 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 blah. But people don't understand, like, I'm so miserable. I want to end it now. And and another thing, people don't realize that sometimes their help isn't enough. Like, if you go to a regular person, they try to help you and their help isn't adequate, what makes you think that something like suicide would be, or mental health in general, would be different? So, I hate to say it like this, but the only thing that's going to stop someone is them. And the way that you said, when they hear that, I hope it makes them pivot. That's literally the only way it happens. Literally. I still have the marks to prove it. I'm warrior tough. We so strong. I didn't get my marks covered up for a reason, because I'm not ashamed of them. I'm not ashamed. I'm not ashamed of who I was at all.
3, 2, 1, roll 5.
It's time to help you unlock your greatness and be amazing. That's it. This is the AMAZIN Podcast. And we're featuring the amazing stories of entrepreneurs, creatives, and business owners sharing their journey to being amazing. That's right. Average to Amazing presents the AMAZIN Podcast. And now, here's your host.
Talk to him. Talk to him.
Mr. Amazing himself.
Don't move. Keep it locked.
You already know.
Henry Goss.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another amazing episode of the AMAZIN Podcast. I'm your host, Henry Amazing, and yes, we have another amazing guest. This lady is just crushing it. I've been following her on Twitter for a while and just seeing her build her brand, and I'm excited. So, T, go ahead, introduce yourself, and tell us a little bit about what you do.
I feel so special with that introduction. All right. But hi, my name is Tiara. I'm 23. I'm an, I guess you could say, entrepreneur that advocates and encourages and empowers people to live a sustainable and holistic lifestyle. And currently I am selling healing crystal jewelry and other decor products. So yeah, that's a little bit about me.
Awesome. So with your brand, You Are Your Aura, what made you want to start?
Oh, I love that question. So I originally founded You Are Your Aura in 2017. And this was I guess, right after the biggest mental health, or not even the biggest, but the last mental health relapse of my life. But prior to that, I was battling a lot of different issues. And that year was the start of the year that I started to find myself. And so I made a brand that encourages people to not only find themselves, but to find their power and how to keep it, because it's just once we recognize our power in ourselves, it's easy to forget all the time, how gifted you really are when you're constantly embedded in society. So I wanted a brand that was a safe space for people to open up and understand that they're not broken, and understand that they are more than they think they are. Because I guess it was I was creating it for other people, but I needed it myself too. So it was just a space to grow and learn with people. And then I started getting more into holistic health and healing myself. And I actually started seeing results. And I was like, dang, I might know a little something. I didn't went through this and I didn't went through that. But now I'm all smiles and I'm a very happy person. I really changed my life. So just continuing to create that space and to expand it, really.
Got you. And I'll say, I definitely understand the idea of creating a brand for others that also helps like you as well. Because it's literally like with the whole amazing brand I'm building, it's interesting to me because like of course I'm encouraging others to realize that they're great and that they're amazing and to not be average. But what the person I'm really speaking to is the old version of me.
Absolutely.
Like, they had the self-doubt, the imposter syndrome, just all those different elements. Like I'm really speaking, like I'm giving the world what I needed at that point in my life.
Yes, like you literally pour your heart out into this thing, and your love just makes it grow. Like not even the love for your brand, but your love for yourself. Because when you are the brand, it reflects into everything that you do. It's crazy.
Exactly. So tell us, what does it mean when you say like you are your aura?
I love this question too. So for people that don't know about auras at all, so an aura is basically like an electromagnetic field that surrounds the bodies of living things. And some people even say non-living things, but I'm pretty sure just for the sake of cohesiveness, we're just going to say living things. So you have a field of energy that surrounds your body. Now, if I was next to you right now, our auras would be in like probably in sync. And that's why we're like, oh, I love your energy to people. We tell people, oh, I love your energy. I like how we just get each other. But when you meet other people and you be like, I don't know, that energy off. Like, that's why your aura is you. You are your aura. You are the energetic representation of what you're presenting.
That is so factual. Have you, or when did you realize the impact that your or I guess really more so, well, I guess I'm the type of person, I believe in like, law of attraction, things of that nature. So, our thoughts are things, and that what we think, it manifests into our energy. So I wonder, let me see. I know what I'm trying to ask. I'm trying to figure out how to ask it. I guess, when did you realize that you could, well, I know it. When did you realize the power that you had to not only understand that, you are your aura, but the fact that you had power to change your aura if it wasn't, positive?
So I will say this, that the aura is always changing because we are always changing. So I realized that through changing myself, I would eventually change how I come off to people and how I'm able to relay my messages and how people are able to receive me. Now, perception is always, a thing, but like I would say the more you are and like the more your heart space is evolved, the better your aura. Why? Because like your heart space is everything. Not even just talking about, oh, you have to be a lover and da 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 da. It's just love is kind of like the foundation when you think about it. If you're into chakras and things like that, and the middle chakra is the gateway to the higher powers. So love is, I like to say love is the foundation. Love is not the limit. We tend to think that love is just like, oh no, it's the end all be all. No, that's just the start. That is just the start. Because when you start to love yourself, then you see how like opens up, and then you see how like more people love you. So love is the foundation. Love is not the end all be all or the limit. So that's when I realized that, that's when I knew.
Oh my goodness, you are absolutely correct. Because even me just reflecting, because I'll say I'm in this season now where I'm like my aura is like, I just feel like I'm vibrating at such a high frequency, and I believe it's because I'm truly aligned with like my purpose and my passions. Like I figured out I just figured out how to make what I do in line with purpose and passion. But even deeper than that, I believe it's truly because I finally, after 26 years of life, because I'm 26, but I finally started loving myself completely, flaws and all, and I found peace in knowing that just me being myself, showing up as the person I am today is enough.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
that's enough.
Yes.
I don't have, although we have goals of who we're trying to be, just we have to embrace the present and live in the now and just love ourselves fully and, appreciate our journeys, whether it was rocky, whether we had, some really, really, really bad moments, like embrace that, because all of that is like, if our life was a pot, all of our experiences are like the ingredients in the pot. You stir all that together and then you get you. So without those experiences, without those struggles, and those wins, because life isn't just bad. Like, you do have wins in life, but all of that like manifests together to create the person you are. And when you love yourself fully for who you are in this moment, everything will change.
And I would just like to add on to the part where you said being present, like, you don't know the future you. The future you could be an asshole. The future you could be a very negative person, because the thing is, the timelines are always changing. You don't know who the future you is. The only things that we do know is that who we are today and who we were yesterday and all those days before. Those are the only things, two things that we know. So if I know that in the present day, today I'm working to be a good person or whatever, today I'm working to be authentic. If I work to do that today, that's my goal tomorrow, then my future will probably be the same way. But don't be attached to this future version of yourself, because you could be limiting yourself in the same way. Because what if your future self, is even better than you imagine, or better than that image you've created in your mind? So don't limit yourself, or don't attach yourself too much to the future. Just attach yourself to the present and just know, not believe, not think, not faith, not hope. Know that the work that you're doing today is important and it matters and it will matter.
Amen. Oh my goodness. You oh my gosh. You just spoke to me. Like, even just beyond the podcast, like, you just spoke to my soul. Oh my goodness. I received it.
That was a message. That came through me. I was like, I have to say that. Yes.
It's important to know. And I'll say, especially for like entrepreneurs or creatives or people who strive to do those type of endeavors, it's tough it's tough to not be so focused on the future, because that's literally what's driving us today.
Exactly.
We know we have these big goals, we have these big ideas, these big plans, and we're putting in the daily efforts to make it happen, but we are attached to that end goal. Like, well, I know me personally, because I can only speak for me. I know there were moments where I was super attached to the end goal. Because, like, I'll say for me, I want to be, 6-figure business, 6-figure investment portfolio, 6-figure salary, on my job. And it's like, yes, that's nice, that's great. When it happens, that'll be amazing. But what I have now is amazing as well. Just where I am today is more than enough, because it's even more than I had. And I'm like you said, like, we grow every day. I'm more than I was yesterday.
Absolutely.
And even if today I'm having an off day, or I won't even say off day, because I'm really, dang, you're helping me.
I wouldn't even call it, people get mad at me when I say this, but I'll say, you're not really having a bad day. And sometimes I'll even catch myself saying a bad day. But we have to realize some words are just for communication. Like, you're not going to understand if I'm saying, no, you're having a bad moment, because a day is just a moment in time. You're going to forget about that shit. Once you be happy again, you be like, oh, I'm living my life. And then boom, something bad happens. You're like, dang. Then you remember all the bad stuff that happened, but you can't do that. Right. You can't do that. That was the moment. Let that moment be the moment. If we're staying present, like we were saying, we have to stay present in that moment. You can't let other bad moments pile up in your memory and then be like, dang, I'm having a bad day because this happened and that happened 2 weeks ago. Like, nah, let the moment be the moment, and then you move on. Tomorrow's a new day, a new moment.
Exactly. So, and then this is just me out of curiosity. Like, when did you get into like the chakras and energy and just holistic healing, just all of it?
So I want to say, like, in hindsight, I've been in tune with myself like all my life, but there was always the pressure, like, oh, you can't think that, like, oh, you can't believe that. Like, I didn't really believe in myself. So whenever I did have those moments where, like, I was really aligned with myself, the things I was going through and, like, the trauma that I was going through was, like, kind of blocking that ability. So after, I want to say, the worst, like, 2-3 years of my life, which is the beginning of college, I actually came back to where I originally was and just stayed there and expanded. I just feel like with a spiritual awareness, this is how I feel. We're all spiritual. We were spiritual at birth. So you came into this world knowing yourself and knowing your purpose, and you will go out that way. Because I don't believe that no one dies without having an inkling of, like, knowing why they were here. You know what I mean? Even, like, the smallest thing on earth knows why it was here, whether it believes that or not deep down. So I say all that to say, like, you can start over whenever. You can. Being aware is just that. It's not like a superpower. It's not like something special. It's really something that everyone has the ability to do and does on a daily basis, but we just don't think that is that, because we're not talking about chakras, we're not talking about yoga, we're not talking about crystals and stuff like that. You make a decision at the stoplight to, like, look left and right before you go. That's being aware, because you know something might hit you if it runs the red light or something like that. So I don't even really like this to claim that I'm a spiritual person. I just really like I said before, I'm a person that's trying. Right. That's me.
Man, I love what you were saying at the beginning, because I know, and I guess it's an awakening I had, because my faith, like I'm a Christian, I believe, in God specifically. But yeah, I believe in Christianity, so that's just how I connect with God. But I'm also aware that we all have our own religious belief systems. But even within that, like, even though I subscribe and I'm following Christianity, I truly do believe, like you said, that we're spiritual beings in a physical world. Like this, everything we see, touch, like this is just physical. But we are, like, we're spiritual beings. Like our bodies and stuff like that, like they're just,
flesh.
Yeah. Like it's just flesh. It's just a shell for the spirit, like who we are on the inside, and just that excitement, just everything that's like this spiritual. So that, this is great. This is great. So great. Let's see. So, question for you. When you were going through that period, like those 2 to 3 years where, you were experiencing, a lot of trauma, what helped you get through that? What made you not break under the pressure?
I honestly, I don't really have an answer for that. I really don't know. Actually, no. Actually, I'll take that back. This is my trigger warning for anybody that's listening on this. So, as a person, like, I've attempted a lot. Like, I'm talking about, like, over 50 times. And I think that it really registered that if it's not going to work, then I should just do something. So I did something. If I can't take that way out, the only way I'm getting out of here is when I'm supposed to. So I have to make something of it. That was literally my thought process. And I was like, well, I don't want to be miserable the whole time. So I want to be happy. I want to finally feel like I don't deserve trauma. Like, I want to finally feel like I don't deserve misery, So it was at that moment those moments I realized, like, okay, if I can't die, maybe I have a purpose. Maybe I'm supposed to do something. And ever since then, I just been doing stuff. And not to say that there's not moments, or there weren't moments where I was like down and stuff like that, but I don't ever really feel like I can be that type of down. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like I went through all that and I'm still living and I'm still smiling, still driving, So I just don't feel like anything could ever take me back there. So if that's the case, if I can't be taken back to my lowest point, then the only way is up.
Exactly.
And that's just the mentality I have.
Man, well, first I want to, thank you for sharing that, because I know that, it takes a lot to be able to open up, and especially when it comes to trauma like that. So definitely, appreciate you for, feeling comfortable enough with me to share that. Man, that is, I gotta let that marinate.
I know it's like it's heavy, but it's like the heaviness at the same time, like it feels like it's being lifted, like it gets lifted off your heart when you acknowledge that. Not with other people, even just with yourself. You just be like, wow, this heaviness is not mine to carry, and then you let it go.
Right.
Like, I'm always telling people, stop carrying burdens that aren't yours.
First, I want to thank you for, taking some time, come on the podcast, share your journey, dropping those gems. And before you go, I wanted to ask you the one question that I ask all of my guests, and that is, what makes you amazing?
Oh, I love that question. What makes me amazing? I think I'm amazing. No, I know I'm amazing because I always show up as myself. And as an individual, and not even trying to be cocky or whatever, as an individual, I know that I'm gifted and I'm talented and that I reach a lot of people. And for that reason, or those reasons, I'm amazing.
Thank you for listening to the AMAZIN Podcast. Be sure to subscribe, leave a 5-star review, and follow us on all social media at the AMAZIN Podcast. We'll see you here next time.